Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, August 21st, 2014. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. And you're going to see that the futures are trading higher by 3.25 points right now. They have come off the highs a little bit, but they've been chopping around these highs all morning. The market is at a daily chart double top. So if you take a look at a daily chart of the S&P 500, what you'll see here is that we are at a daily chart double top. So there's a fair amount of resistance here. We'll see how this all plays out going forward, but we want to respect what we're seeing here in the market. So again, you do have a daily chart double top. Maybe the market takes a little bit of a pause today. That is certainly a possibility, but nonetheless, with the light volume, there's always a chance the market can grind out a high like it did yesterday. Yesterday's market was really a flat trading day with the exception of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. However, with the light volume that's taking place in the month of August, the market is grinding higher. You also have the central bankers meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Everybody's waiting for Janet Yellen's speech tomorrow. She's going to give a speech. Everybody's expecting it to be somewhat dovish. If she is hawkish, will that hurt the market? So again, interest rates are going to come into play very, very soon. Will the Fed start to signal that they are going to increase interest rates, or are they going to really end the QE as expected in the month of October? So a lot on the table here. We'll see where it goes. Again, futures right now up about 3 points ahead of the opening bell. All right, let's look at some individual stocks out here because we have a lot of stocks in the news. We're going to start off with Hewlett-Packard. They reported earnings yesterday after the closing bell. The stock did get hit initially, but right now it's trading at around 35.12. This is basically right where it closed. You can see it did trade as low as 34.60. I'm showing a lot of intraday support around $34.25 to $34. There's also more at 33.72. So Hewlett-Packard again does have some support a little bit lower here. I kind of favor that those levels could get tested today. If the stock does rally, watch for resistance, probably around the $37 level. Either way, I'm not sure if it's going to be a great trade today, but we're going to look at it once the opening bell rings, see what kind of pattern it makes on the intraday chart, and then we'll play it accordingly. Next one on my list here is LB, which is L Brands. The stock right now is trading at $63.18. It closed at around $63, $62.98 actually yesterday. Not a big move or reaction the stock is getting. It looks like they beat analyst expectations, but really what does that mean? The way I'm looking at it right now, the stock has a lot of resistance around $64.25 to $64.50, so I don't expect or see a lot of upside in the name. If it gets up there, I'm going to look at it on the intraday stock chat today, and we'll see if there's a play as a potential scalp. But right now I have to give it the upside bias to around $64.25 to $64.50, which is just slightly higher than where it is. I want to take a look at UPS today because there is a report out today saying that UPS had some credit card data stolen from about 51 stores across 24 states. So that could be in play today. Right now the stock is holding firm. It closed at 98.80. It's trading at 98.75. But this is one to keep on the radar today if it does start to come down. A level I have for the stock today, which would be pretty solid if you do get any kind of major decline, would be around $94. So 94, 94.10 would be a lot of support for UPS if it did fall. I'm not seeing any real movement in the equity at the moment, but when I look at this equity, I do see that 94 level standing out like a sore thumb. So we want to play that level as a scalp play at 94, 94.10 could be the level. Let's take a look at Sears Holdings today. Sears Holding getting hit this morning. Stock closed at $35.95. It is now trading at $34.58. Did trade below $33.50 earlier. Has rebounded a little bit. Big level here for Sears is going to be right around this $30, $31 area. If it cracks through there, watch out. Sears can really start to sell off more precipitously. Right now, what I'm looking at is the stock being defended down here around $33.50. I'm not really sure what I'm seeing there as major support, but nonetheless, Sears is down a little bit today. Again, be careful with this equity a little bit because it is a light volume name, meaning rarely does it trade 1 million shares a day. We usually like to trade stocks that trade 1 million shares a day to give us better bounces, better reads, cleaner plays. But anyway you slice or dice it, the stock is weak. We'll we'll look at it again in the intraday stock chat today once the market gets underway, and we'll see if we come up with something there. Let's take a look at this WUBA. This is 58com. Stock closed at $50.59. Today it's trading at $46.67, as you can see down here. I don't really have a good level on this equity, believe it or not, at the moment. I'm going to say there's a fair amount of support in this general range. This is normally a light volume name. On a good day, this stock trades 500,000 shares. I know the last 3 days it has traded more volume, over 1 million shares a day. But again, I'm showing some support around this 46 area. After this, though, if this thing does not hold this 46 level, this stock could be vulnerable all the way down to around $38.75. So maybe $39. So be very, very careful with this stock today. I'm not seeing a lot of strength in it at the moment. Let's take a look at Hormel Foods. Hormel had some news today as well. I forget exactly what the news was. I think it's something to do with the earnings, but you could check it out for yourself. Either way, Hormel right now is trading a little bit higher. Now, when I look at the charts, I don't really see a lot of upside here at the moment. I think this stock could stall up here around this 49.50, 49.50 level. So watch for resistance right around this area if it does get there. Currently it's trading at 48.80. Hormel should stall out around 49.50. I really don't see much more upside in it. I would not be a buyer of Hormel at all at this stage of the game. If you do own it, trail your stop loss or take profits, in my opinion. But I would not be a buyer. Again, around 49.50, there should be pretty good resistance. Looks like Guess Stores is gapping down today, or Guess Inc. as it's called. Stock is trading at $25, closed at $25.84. It's not a huge gap by any means. There's still a fair amount of support around the $25 area. However, if this stock breaks down, you got to watch for $22 on the equity. So keep that on the radar today. You could get a little bit of a play around $22. Stock also has more support around the $19.75 to $20 level. I know those are big moves. I'm not sure if they play out like that, but again, it can happen. Let's take a look at Dollar Tree. DLTR is the ticker symbol here. Stock is getting hit a little bit. It closed at 55 yesterday, trading right around 54 and a quarter, 54.27 at the moment. Keep this on the radar today. Now, the stock has been holding 54, but that level is now minor. If it breaks down, you're going to watch $49.70. It gets down to $49.70. That will be your bounce level for Dollar Tree. That's DLTR. Do not get that confused with FDO, Family Dollar, or DG, which is Dollar General. This is DLTR. This is the one that is in play today. So, again, that level is around $49.70. It should be solid support going forward. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold is getting hammered to the downside today. Gold futures are down $18.40. Right now, gold looks like it is. Gold futures are trading at $1,277 an ounce. So big decline in gold today. Let's take a look at the GLD. GLD right now is trading down to around the 122.85 level. I think there's a lot of support here. You can see this black line that I have in there. So there should be a fair amount of daily chart support. We're going to look at this one after the opening bell rings. But gold is getting clipped pretty good, in pretty good fashion today. But there should be a fair amount of support right in this 122.80, 122.75 level. All right, let's take a look at the oil market. Light sweet crude is trading lower today. It looks like the October contract is trading down 60 cents at the moment to 92.84. That's the October contract. Looking at the USO today, you're going to see that is trading lower as well. 34.64, closed at 34.86. I do not have support on the USO until this gets to around $34. So be very careful with the oil market. The geopolitical events in the Middle East are starting to flare up again. You also have problems in Russia and Ukraine starting to flare up again. But the oil market is still going lower. That is not a bullish sign. That is actually a negative sign. So again, I don't have a very good support level on the USO until this gets to around $34 and maybe 5 cents, $34 even number. So again, expect this ultimately to be weak in my opinion. Okay, I pretty much covered everything I wanted to get through today in the pre-market news and views report. We'll see how this market plays out. Again, futures right now are trading higher by 3.25 points. They're holding up right at these levels. Volume is expected to be light once again, barring any comments from the Federal Reserve and the other central bankers out of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. You never know what can come out, though, so be on your toes, and we'll see what this market gives us. But with that being said, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.